So in this video, I'm going to speak about one of the big errors in modern architecture or modern thinking in general, that they say that beauty is not objective. I mean, if we do a survey of like 100, 1000 or how many people ever, nowadays, if you like this building or if they like this kind of building, I think the outcome will be quite clear. So beauty is maybe not totally objective, like 100% measurable, but on the other hand, it's not that relative as like 20th century always state. So in this video, I'm gonna explain why. And here actually already like some surveys conducted. There are pretty many out there online. One big one was this like cognitive architecture, where they like compared like modern architecture and pre-modern architecture. And there are actually pretty many surveys that show and research that like the common people, they do not like modern architecture. They prefer to live in pre-modern architecture, so classical architecture. And this is also a report from German real estate market, that you can get both for rent and also for buying higher prices for like pre-modern architecture. So people want to live in the 19th century architecture more than in contemporary ones. So you can ask for higher prices for rent and purchasing the real estate in the classical style. And one of the main errors was also that like this is like Weissenhof-Siedlung of Bauhaus, right? Early modern architecture wanted to educate the people. So they said, okay, we built this for you and you are not ready yet. So you don't understand it yet. But later when you like grown up, let's say, your mind is grown up, you will understand our genius. So that means the early modern architecture from Bauhaus onwards, they wanted to educate the people. And I think it's quite arrogant. And I made another video about that. And the whole art, so this is Joseph Beuys, right? The main error in that is also that people found out, like in the past, there was some artwork, like expressionist art, like this, for example, that people at the beginning didn't like and found disgusting, and now people like it, right? So, but that's the logical error in early modern thinking, that then on the opposite, you can create like every ugly thing, like Joseph Beuys' fat corner here, for example, or another Joseph Beuys stuff here, that you can create like every ugly thing, and after time the people will like it. So that's a logical error, right? Just because, let's say, for example, like all desperate housewives are ugly, that doesn't mean that all ugly women are desperate housewives. Or let's say like all trucker men are like fat, that doesn't mean like every fat person is a trucker, right? So it's not like just because some element A have the property B, that doesn't mean that every element B also is necessary element A. So just because like there was like some art, right, that was proven like quite provoking in the beginning and nobody liked it. Also like Gustav Mahler, for example, the composer, some of his symphonies here, the partitur. So they were very provoking at the beginning and people didn't like it, and later they get used to it. But that doesn't mean in the other direction you can produce like every ugly stuff and after a while people get used to it. And I mean it should be also not the aim that like we produce every most ugly possible architecture, and then after a while people will get used to every ugliness, right? So this should not be the aim. So if we do like surveys, what people actually like, it's pretty clear. So they prefer like the pre-modern architecture with the classical elements, and I made another video about that, what I think what that is. They prefer that over contemporary architecture or modern architecture, because there are like elements in it that I call like the timeless elements of beauty. So I think if we focus on that again, we can create like a timeless way of architecture. And I think we should do the architecture that the people nowadays like.